Jared Cannonier. Jared Cannonier is my guy. I like how weird he is. I like that he's into crystals. I like the way he talked. I like that he was an ice truck driver. He's a salt of the earth kind of guy. And he used to live in Alaska. Originally fought at heavyweight, then went down to light heavyweight, and then now is at middleweight, looking shredded, fighting Sean Strickland. Sean Strickland's last fight, he got knocked out by Alex Pereira, who we know also just TKO'd the champ, so no shame in getting knocked out by Alex. But I just think Jerry Cannonier's is a tough fight. Tough fight for anybody, really. But definitely a tough fight for. Wow, he's crazy.
John Strickland is always a bit awkward at the stare downs. He certainly acknowledged
a bit awkward at the stare downs. He's a bit awkward everywhere.
We'll start with the personality of Sean Strickland. This guy's a winner. He says, listen, I'm training with the best. I'm doing everything I can to be the best fighter I can be. He can go back inside the top 5 as we look at these fighter rankings brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook with a victory tonight over the third-ranked former title challenger, Jared Cannonier. Shaking up with Alex Pereira at the top. Roman Dolidze has entered the fray. There's a lot of interesting matchups to be made. Dricus du Plessis certainly as well after a big performance last week. Middleweights start the main card as well. Owner of Brazilian.
All right, Janae, Cody Brundage or Michael Olejniczak? Oh, that's pretty close. Olejniczak.
You're asking me?
Yeah, I'm asking you.
I'll go with Olejniczak.
Olejniczak. Just because the name?
Yeah, who are you?
Fair. It's tough. I think I'm gonna go Cody Brundage. On this one. Why? I just have a good feeling about. Well, he beat Trayshawn Gore in the first round.
Oh, is that the guy from Ultimate Fighter?
That is the guy from the Ultimate Fighter, which was pretty impressive.
Wow.
That guy is really good, though. Olejniczak, yes. Just a classic. Long last name, good wrestler. I feel like that's a pretty solid theory. If you have a long last name and you're from Eastern Europe, I will put the house on the fact that you're a great wrestler. Put that on anything. Cody Brundage. Definitely don't sleep on him. Yeah, but Taicha Ngambula.
He's won 3 of his last 4. His only setback at that time was at light heavyweight when he went the distance against Dustin Jacoby earlier this year.
No, there's not.
Oh, how many people were in there?
It's like 1 and 2, 1. It's like people just popping in and out.
Well, speaking of finishes, that is exactly what Cody Brundage has done when he's at his best. Trayshawn Gore, first round knockout back in July, and to start the year back in March, it was a performance of the night. Comeback first round submission of Dalton Lungiambula.
I'm not gonna lie, Cody Brundage looks like he was a bully in high school.
Not the most talented guy.
Did you say that? That's funny.
He takes that mentality in the training room.
I did just say that. Yes.
Yeah, it's a good way to put it, Fitz.
He does. He's got like the short hair.
That's so weird.
He's like the big head. He looks like Biff. Like if Biff was a UFC fighter.
Oh, yeah. Well, they always have that kind of comb over look.
Yeah, come over. Big head. Big shoulders. Not hating, just saying. He could be the new Back to the Future.
years ago, he moved out to Factory X Muay Thai to train with that man, Mark Montoya. Good to see him.
This fight's out of a really good gym,
After he was recently
Factory
diagnosed
X.
with cancer,
It's
that
been around
had surgery
since
to
I
take care
started
of
watching
Dustin
UFC.
Jacoby in his corner. Those two joined at the hip all the time in the training room. But for Cody Brundage, if he can string together a third straight finish victory, he will certainly go on the list of fighters on the rise and fighters to look out for at 185 pounds.
Cody Brundage, he's a stock price of $1.18.
And married to a former UFC fighter, Amanda Brundage, formerly Amanda.
He's married to a former UFC fighter. Interesting. Yeah, Amanda Brundage. But at $1.18, that's not a bad stock price for a guy with promise. I say that only because the stock price isn't going to go. I mean, he's already not a known name, so not like his stock can drop a little bit, but it's only going to drop a little bit if it drops. But on the other side of it, you know, if he wins, he does become a prospect that the stock price is going to go. It's only going to start going up. You know, it's sitting at $1.18. I'd say it's a pretty safe long bet.
Yeah, it's a safe on bet.
Safe long bet.
His professional record stands at 17 victories, 5 defeats, and 1 no contest.
Out of Poland. Barki, Poland.
Let's go, homie.
Alexeychuk. Okay, I was just about to say he is a wrestler. He looks like someone who wrestled in college as well.
A bully that wrestled in college.
A bully that wrestled in college. That's pretty much 90% of all wrestlers in college. People are gonna think I hate wrestlers. I don't hate wrestlers. I'm just throwing out the facts.
He used to cheerlead for wrestlers.
I did not cheerlead for wrestlers. Just basketball, football, sometimes volleyball. We'll see if the American wrestling can hold up. Oh, goes for the first shot. He got the first takedown.
Come on, Chick.
This is how you don't have to deal with Olashaychuk and his grappling.
Olashaychuk. I wonder if they call him Shay for short. Big Shay.
And let him know you're going to wrestle. And Brundage talked about that in his last fight, that people expect that from him, and he gives it to him. Hey, oh, you think I'm going to wrestle? I'm going to do it anyway. Come out here and take it down. Then what are you going to do?
That's bold.
What my game plan was, and it was still
Very Habib-like.
College wrestler, 2-time NCAA national qualifier was Brundage.
Oh wow, so he's really good.
Showed some power though against Trayshawn Gore. Got a knockout in the first round last time out.
I know, we just talked about it. You don't have to rub it in our face.
You know, Brendan, though, having said that, right, that he got that big knockout and finished with TKO. But a lot of that starts because Brundage is so good at mixing up his wrestling and just forcing the takedown. You have to respect it. You have to be concerned about that. What happens? Where do those hands go? The down block. We're always talking about down block, how important that is. Well, if you feint it and you go to down block and that takedown's not there and instead it's a right hand, you're going down.
Brundage looked like a smirk, just sitting on the bottom position there with a bit of a smirk it looked like on his face. On the change of trying.
Man, he's got the back solid already.
Back to his feet. Brundage maintains position.
This guy's really good.
This is smart for Brundage because even if they do get back to their feet and have a striking exchange, now you've been wearing on the tank of Olashaychuk as long as you can.
If you look at the fundamentals of why this is working for Brundage, it's that hand control.
Right. Oh yeah, he's got good transitions. He's making Olashaychuk work the entire time. Now Olashaychuk's on top. He's gonna show off the Polish power. Ooh.
This coach's cam is brought to you by Proper Number 12 Irish Whiskey, Mark Montoya, the team at Factory X.
Get your fingers.
Being a high-level wrestler with your guard closed on your back is not necessarily what comes to a high-level wrestler first.
Don't stay here. Hey, you stand flat. Push Paul. Pull him towards you. Grab the hand. Pull. Good. Now, if you need to attack.
Don, can you walk me through push pull? What are they talking about?
And Mike Montoya wants him to use his guard to pull him forward, and now he's hurt.
Ooh.
You see, oh, no, he's out.
Oh, snap. That's Polish power.
He said move. Mark said, get the fuck away.
Wow.
Okay.
That was impressive, you know.
You did. You're a savant.
See how Oleszejczuk got taken down, was getting control, but was able to work.
Let's see this replay.
And then this guy, whether it be on the ground or on the feet, when he starts letting his strikes go and they start to connect, you're in a world
Let's
of trouble.
see. This guy's stock.
See here.
It's on top.
Loses it. Once he loses that hand control. And
Couple
Oleszejczuk
elbows.
just got right to work in his top position. I mean, he did not care
Oh
about
my
Oh.
it. Or just started throwing heat. And you see here, he rocks frontage and then finishes it. He sees that he's hurt and just really swerves, sees the blood in the water, and gets the finish here. I mean, that's
Yeah.
just good read.
That's a good clean. And look, $1.10 is that guy's stock right now. You could get in right now. It's not too late. Let's run through the rest of these. Next up is one of the more fun fight nights. It is going to be Drew Dober versus Bobby Green.
Oh.
Talked about this in the Instagram a little bit. I think, man, Bobby Green's really good and he's consistent. He's a great boxer, decent wrestling, but I think Drew Dober is a little bit younger. He does get fed the young, tough dudes, and he's been winning against them. So I just don't see Drew Dober losing this matchup. So
Right.
I just don't, yeah. So, but solid investment though, $1.50, still pretty cheap. You know, your more, I guess, popular fighters on the UFC roster. They have stock prices that are, minimal $3, but up to $4 or $5, and then Izzy's like I think around $7. So if you can get in on a fighter at $1.50, and they end up doing really well, you could, times 2, times 3 your money in some cases easily. And then after that, we got Alex Caceres versus Julian Erosa. It's another kind of middle of the road fight, but I think Alex Caceres wins that one. I think he has a stock price of $1.10 as well. Kind of a similar situation to Drew, not exactly the same, but they're both young guys that are kind of like veterans in the UFC already, which is crazy. Let's see what Paul's got to say.
Did you know that this was going to be something you had to do to end up on top and use that power that we see you possess in the ground position? Gratulacje wygranej. Czy mierząc się z zawodnikiem takim jak wybrany, spodziewałeś się, że będzie ci potrzebne, żebyś ty znalazł się z góry i w ten sposób ty sami z góry zakończył walkę?
The game plan was very simple. I want to destroy my opponent, punch, and take off defense.
Destroy my opponent. You don't want to get in fights with people who say things like, my goal is to destroy my opponent.
You handled yourself well. You stayed composed. You reversed that position nicely and then started laying down the ground and pound. That's 2 big finishes in a row.
Super impressive.
In this division since dropping down to welterweight. What's next for you and how soon can we see him get back into the octagon?
Yeah, I think that this guy has definitely a future at welterweight for sure. And 185, he was still really good.
Is there anybody he wants?
Let's see if he has a call out.
You ranking fighter, and I won't fight with him.
Who?
That's an awesome call out, and congratulations. And middleweight. Oleszejczuk, ladies and gentlemen.
To McCall, Oleszejczuk call for Chris Curtis.
Chris Curtis. Oh, that's a bold call out. Chris Curtis just knocked somebody out. So you know this guy is he's real. He's real. He's calling out guys that are knocking out other guys. Combat Jiu-Jitsu on tomorrow. I want to watch that. All right, next up on the list, Amir Albazi versus Alessandra Costa. That is another close fight. Amir, I think he goes by Prince. If it's the same fighter I'm thinking of, let's see.
Right up next, the type of fight that is guaranteed to deliver. Drew Dober has responded in a big way this year. 2 knockout wins. One of them in what could be the
Yes, Amir Albazi. He's only has one loss on his record. I think he's going to run through this fight as well. Stock price of $2.03, which means to me there's still some value there. Definitely would want to invest in Amir Albazi. He's really good on the microphone. That is relevant because if you're good on the microphone, you're good at call outs. The UFC tends to give you better opportunities. Also, people on Twitter talk about it. People on Instagram talk about it. So it's really important. And this guy is really good at having a plan after the fight, using that microphone time really diligently. So kudos to him for doing that. Next is the co-main event. We got Arman Sarukian versus Damir Ismagulov. Talked about this on the Instagram short show as well. This is another one of those fights. It's like these guys are not well known, but they're easily, top 10. I would say even top 5 skilled fighters in the weight class. These are fighters that don't get the Paddy Pimblets because no one accepts their fights. They're so good that they only get each other for matchups. It sounds unfair, but unless you end up on a 4 or 5 fight win streak, then you can start to get some attention and some momentum. But until you get that little streak, it's really hard to get some of these big fights because no one sees Arman Sarukian come across a contract and they're like jazzed about it. Like, ooh, yeah, I'll take this fight with the guy who's not popular who can whoop my ass. That's tough. So I feel for both guys. They're kind of both in the same situation, but I think Arman's going to win. I think he has a bigger chip on his shoulder. And his stock, I think, is $1.54, so that's a great price. And last but not least, we have the main event of the evening, Jared Cannonier versus Sean Strickland. Woo! Our boy, Pyrite. He loves Pyrite. He takes Pyrite with him to every fight. See, this guy's stock is at $4.92. Popular Pyrite. He's super popular. His stock price shows that. That's his stock price is probably going to stay about the same, until he gets a number one contender fight or a championship fight. I don't see this stock really moving very much. So, I guess if you want to look at it that way, it's a safe place to hold your money. If you think he is going to be a champion eventually, then, why not hold your money there? It's because it's been pretty stable. And he's fighting Sean Strickland. I have a feeling that's going to be a little bit different. If you don't know, Sean Strickland is a character. He had a really bad motorcycle accident way back in the day, so he has an interesting take on life. He's very outspoken. He says what he wants. Kind of a PR nightmare for a large organization like the UFC, but man, he's good at fighting. He's really good, and he's someone that can really get in his opponent's heads too. He has a stock price of $2.76, which I think that's good. It's a really good price. He's got room for growth. He fights, ranked opponents. He's always in the headlines. So $2.76. Although I think Jared's going to win, the investment opportunity definitely lies within Sean Strickland. Boom, boom. And that is the live show. I am going to sign off here and watch the Drew Dober fight. Until next time, just go ahead and subscribe to YouTube. So we're going to start doing these videos more often, fighter picks. We're also starting to do more fighter interviews. and different types of fighter engagement. So make sure you stay tuned, subscribe, and see you next time.
Noti Gang!
Noti Gang. And